Hello and welcome back to Hope Follows. I'm Julie Kenzler and I am the host of this show. Remember, we at Hope Follows are all about finding stories of tough things we go through. They could be really, really hard things, or they might just be smaller obstacles that we deal with in life. But there's always hope, and that's what we want to share with you, friends. Hope and the hope that follows the struggle. So that's what we're here for. And today I'm very excited. I have a special guest, Renee Hogan. Hi, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, and we have some really neat things to chat about. And with her experience and knowledge, her training, you guys are going to be so blessed and equipped to take control of your health and wellness. I will introduce Renee in a very professional way. Renee Hogan has been learning about health and wellness extensively for the last 20 plus years. She is passionate about whole, clean food. That sounds really yummy right now. Leading an active lifestyle, recognizing our bodies are more than just a physical being, but need to be nourished physically, spiritually, and to the soul. Renee's biggest passion is empowering others to grab a hold of the power of their own health. I love this. One step at a time. Every single one of us has the next step to take. So you're serious? So
Yes.
We all have that ability?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, let's talk about this then.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Well, you also have said that you specialize in helping people find health and wellness.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Well, everybody's on a wellness journey. Everybody has something that they would like in their life. None of us are perfect because we live in this world, right?
Right, yes.
And so anytime somebody comes to me and says, I have this going on, that's at the surface. And we can dig deeper and we can learn together what they can do next to take the next step towards health.
Sure. Can you give us an example of maybe a scenario where somebody has come to you with some kind of ailment?
Yep.
And
Absolutely.
what was the process? What did that look like? How you guys worked through that?
Absolutely. So a friend of mine, she had a brain injury from a traffic accident.
Okay.
And she's been working to recover that. And she fills out a form that gives me information as to what's been going on and what all of the different ways that she's tried to be treated in the past, what she's currently doing. We're not trying to take away what people are currently doing towards health, right?
Sure.
But then I have just a conversation because learning about people's habits in their life and where their stresses are, who they spend time with, and all of that big picture of life kind of helps with making a plan for, okay, what are I like to start with like 3 things. What are the 3 things you could add or take away from your life that is going to help you move to that next place?
Right.
And so for her, we kind of came up with a 2-month plan of what she could do to work on moving towards that next step of life. And we evaluated a couple of times within that 2 months to say, okay, so how did this help or not help in moving forward with health? And
Sure.
she's still on her journey, but it's exciting. She was living with headaches constantly, and her headaches have lessened. And she's also working with a therapist who's working with her physically on her back. And
Physical therapist.
it's chiropractor, but then he does more than chiropractic. So I'm not quite exactly sure all of his background. But through some of the work that she and I were doing, he was able to reach areas that he has not been able to reach before as well. So just kind of that next step in finding health.
There's just something about really understanding your body and knowing how it works and how it can work more efficiently.
Yeah.
Can you share the 3 things that were her little goals to work on?
Sure.
Okay.
One of them is a use of essential oils on a weekly basis that she would use with her body,
Right.
so that she could. The essential oils help with all of the mind, body, spirit connection,
Right.
with all of it together. So the essential oils, and then using enzymes to help her body absorb nutrients.
So specific types of digestive
enzymes
Okay.
for her body to absorb nutrients.
Right.
And then also she needed some extra sleep. But
Oh, that's a big one.
part of that sleep problem was a food problem. So it was helping her. She wasn't eating enough food.
Okay.
And when you're not eating enough food, your body has a hard time resting. And so how can I asked her to eat 6 times a day because she doesn't like to eat large quantities.
Okay.
So,
Wow. And
Yeah.
and then you'll evaluate, and then maybe whatever the next step is.
yeah.
Well, that's really neat. And so, would you call yourself a life coach or a
I'm-
health and wellness coach?
I'm a holistic health practitioner.
That's what it is.
My title.
Holistic health practitioner, and you are also studying to be a naturopathic.
Naturopath, yes.
Right. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, let's move on because I wanted to ask you. You have such knowledge, but how do you define healthy and not healthy?
I love that question. I think that at the end of the day, a healthy person is somebody who has found balance in life.
Okay.
So all of us are on a journey of health. And a healthy person is somebody who has recognized that mind, body, spirit balance, but none of us have arrived, right?
Sure.
And so I hesitate sometimes to say this is not healthy and this is healthy, because for every individual, what that is specifically is going to look a little bit different.
And you even mentioned when we were talking earlier about how you really try to, shop from in the grocery store on the exterior
Right.
part and not the interior.
Not the interior.
And I asked you, well, so you eat no processed foods at all? And your answer was?
Yeah, I believe in this 80-20 rule. So yes, I eat processed food. Yes, I eat junk. But if 80% of my diet is healthy and the other 20% is junk, then I'm living a more balanced life.
Right.
When I'm so strict that I just can't allow myself to have anything that I desire or want, that's going to mess with me emotionally. And if it's messing with me emotionally, then that's going to come out in another way that's not healthy.
That's so good, because I think so many people feel like, it's either this or that, instead of, why can't it just be a blend?
Right.
And like you said, a balance.
Yeah.
And trying to find that. Wow, that could be another title you have, the balance finder. Balance coach. Okay, why do you think it matters so much to God that we live a healthy, balanced life?
I've spent a lot of time thinking about this one, and there's a lot of different ways that I could go, but I will say, what is the first commandment? It's to love the Lord your God with all of your heart, mind, and body, and your soul, right?
Right.
And the second is to love others as yourself.
Right.
And if we are loving God with all of who we are, that means that we are paying attention to all of who we are. It's not just a feeling, it's an action. I just really believe that about love, that love is an action, not just a feeling. And so in order for me to be available to what God has for me, means that I have taken care of what He's given me.
And your role as a wife, as a mom, to be the best wife and mom, friend, whatever your roles are, you're right. It's important that you take care of you.
I will say we were at Hershey Park with our little kids when they were little. And
Hershey Park in Pennsylvania. Where does it really smell like chocolate there?
No.
Really?
No. But they do have a lot of chocolate everywhere.
Oh, good. Okay. I definitely want to go there someday.
It's so fun. It is so fun. And there were some grandparents that were there with their grandkids. And we were watching the grandparents with their grandkids. And it became a goal of mine, is I want to be a healthy enough grandparent, if I have anything with my ability, to be there for my grandkids, to take them to an amusement park and enjoy them.
And it starts now.
Exactly. I was in my 20s then.
Oh, see, look at that. And we're going to talk a little bit about what really inspired you to take this more seriously, your family's health and wellness. But that's so good, because I really encourage our friends watching that you don't feel like, I'm defeated, I'm 20, I'm 30, I'm 50, I'm 70. don't feel like it's ever too late.
Absolutely. Absolutely, yes.
Right. Well, you have you had a funny post on your social media, and it said, if you had to eat supper, you asked this question, if you had to eat supper exclusively from your yard or property tonight, what would you be eating? Okay, talk about that.
Well, the intent of it was just to find out what people had to say. It
Right.
sounded so funny. And people did have funny answers. They're going to eat
course.
grass. They're going to eat their dog mess. They're going to,
Yes.
whatever.
Right.
And then I had the friends that are self-sustained and could make the quick meal. But on a deeper level, knowing where our food comes from is such an important quality. And I personally love to go to farmers markets where I'm meeting farmers and getting to know the people that have made my food. There's something with that personal connection that makes food extra
love that.
special. Food is emotional. I mean, throughout the Bible, people
Exactly.
eat together.
Yes.
People are together. Food is supposed to be emotional.
Big events.
Right?
Over food.
Over food.
Yes.
Food is connection. And so I love knowing that. But then that's where I mentioned at the grocery store, if you spend your time on the outside aisles, you're spending your time on the food that is more likely to have come from real sources.
Yes.
So, yeah.
I love that. I'm going to make that a goal to go to a farmer's market and really talk to the farmers there.
It's so much fun.
I bet. And what do you
so much
what do you
fun.
talk to them about?
People love to share what they know.
Okay.
So I was at a farmer's market in Gilbert, Arizona recently, and there's a woman there who sells bone broth.
Okay.
And I was just asking her about her bone broth, and she just loves to share where she gets the supplies from and how she makes it and why it's so nutritious and how it's good for your body. I mean, it's a great way to learn about food too.
Free education.
Right.
Absolutely.
It's
Plus
so
you can
fun.
buy some really good quality products.
You can.
Well, thank you. That's really great. Now let's go ahead and move into your family situation and why this all became such an important priority for you.
Absolutely. So my son, Ben, he's 20 years old. And when he was born with a diseased esophagus. And for the first 18 months of his life, he was underweight and not thriving. And we found out at 18 months old that he had this diseased esophagus. I was a fast food, processed food mom. Go through the McDonald's drive-through, pop something in the microwave.
And you had how many kids at that time?
He was my second.
Oh, okay. He's your second.
My second.
That's right. Okay.
But I didn't grow up on real food. I grew up on Chef Boyardee.
Okay. So you only were doing what you knew.
I was doing what I knew.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I couldn't eat that way anymore because it was killing him literally.
Wow.
So I had to read food labels because food was the way that we could manage his esophagus. And when you read food labels, you learn what junk they put in food. And so even when I could buy something that he could eat, I would see the label and see the junk that was in that food, and I couldn't bring myself to feed it to my family. And so that took me to blogs to learn about cooking because I didn't know how to cook and I didn't know what nutrition was. And so as I read those blogs, I learned a lot about health in general and how food brings health, but beyond food, other ways of finding health. And so that was the beginning of my journey.
Did you find it stressful, hard, exciting, exhilarating? What was it for you?
It was so stressful. Yeah. I just remember my husband coming home from work and being like, I have been in the kitchen all day long. And I have to tell you guys, you don't have to spend your life in the kitchen all day long. I was thrown into this fire with my son. Yes. Like he needed this, yes. And he needed me to do everything from scratch. Sure. Now I don't spend all day long in the kitchen because I've learned how to do it and it's really easy.
You should write a book about it.
That's a good idea.
I think that would help. Don't you guys think that's a great idea?
That's a great idea.
Yes. Well, and so he's doing really well.
Yeah, he's doing great.
And that was significant. So now he has to be his own advocate and take care of himself. But he learned that from you.
Yeah. He said, Mom, you've ruined me. He's like, I don't even like the bad food.
That's fantastic. I love that. I don't even like the bad food. Can you also share then some examples, some other common ailments maybe people might have, and people just stock up on medicine, Motrin, Advil, allergy medicine, and how you have seen people be able to get off of that
Yeah.
through using, obviously some oils or the foods.
Right. It has been, so I will say, essential oils were a game changer in our house.
Yes.
As far as allergies go, headaches, and I'm going to get to that piece in a minute.
Okay.
But headaches, as well as reflux and
Oh, yes, like acid reflux. Okay.
yeah. So those were awesome. But outside of that, the other biggest changer was toxins. I didn't realize, one, how easy it is to not have toxins in your house, and two, how much toxins are in everything.
Yeah.
But those toxins were causing headaches and stomach problems that we didn't even know existed because they were just a part of our everyday life. And so there's an app that you can have on your phone that's called the EWG app.
Okay.
And you can like scan an item at the grocery store and it'll tell you how toxic it is. So
Like a scale.
like a scale.
Okay.
So we don't bring anything in that's more than a 3. If it's more than a 3, it just stays at the grocery store.
And could this also be like for body products?
Body
like
products.
Soap
Yep.
and lotion, shampoo?
Yep, cleaning products, personal care products, makeup, anything you can imagine.
EWG.
EWG.
EWG is the app. And I'll make sure I get this information onto my website, hopefollows.com. You can also email me, juliekenzler@gmail.com. And I also have Renee's email at the bottom of the screen, and it'll be rotating there as well. So you can reach out to either one of us with your questions.
Absolutely.
Well, that's amazing. Just that whole combo of, think about it. People will go get allergy shots.
Yes.
And perhaps maybe there is a need for that, I'm sure. But what if you tried alternative ways
Yeah.
that are healthy?
Yeah. It's been a game changer.
Yes.
In so many of my friends' lives, I just, as I found things, I would be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this worked, because I was just shocked.
Yes.
And then they tried it too, and they were like, oh my gosh, this changed my life too. And allergies is probably one of the number one things.
I'm sure. And now you are taking all this knowledge and then putting it into a business.
I am.
And I love her business name. Can you say what that is?
Yeah, it's Eden after Eve, because God created this beautiful garden on earth
Yes.
that was completely perfect. And this earth we live on now is not completely perfect, but we are still intended to live in the fullness of life.
Yes.
And as we journey on this life together, I just dream of living in that fullness of that God has provided for us.
And sharing that
And
with
sharing
people.
that with people. Yeah.
And how will that look? I know that you're not really up and running until the January or so of 2023.
I know, crazy.
Yes, and we are going to have her back on. We will talk more. But how will that look?
It's going to be going to be an online business that I will meet with clients virtually, but also through that there's connection. So it's as I talked about with my friend that had the brain injury, same type of thing. So we're taking data. So many people have already been searching for answers in so many different ways. And when we're talking about health, our bodies were created to heal themselves.
Right.
Right?
That's so true. You look at a baby or a toddler when they get a cut and how quickly it heals.
Yeah. So our bodies are created to heal themselves, and so I believe that anytime somebody has a chronic condition, use what the medical profession has given you, but then also work with somebody to find your body's ability to heal so that you don't have to live in that state forever.
And that could be a combination of, like you said, you actually have 9 principles, or what do you call that?
Foundations of health.
Okay. Do you want to share?
Sun.
Okay.
Spend time in the sun. Drink half your body weight in water. Move your body regularly. Sleep. Our bodies repair themselves when we sleep. We need good, sound sleep. Nutrition. Just eat real food.
Yes.
Just eat real food. JERF is what we call it.
Just eat real
real
food.
food.
JERF.
Yes.
JERF. Okay. JERF. I love it. Let's JERF.
That's right. And spirituality, spending time with God, spending time in community with others with God, is just key to health as well.
That is so interesting. And I feel like that would be a great part of your book, explaining all these, because that one is intriguing to me.
I'm actually writing a book on this one right now.
On that one in particular?
On the nine.
Oh, on the 9. So you are.
I am in the
I
midst
cannot
of
wait
that.
to get this book. Okay,
Yeah.
finish. I don't know if you finished all 9.
So I didn't finish all 9. Community. So who are you surrounding yourself with? We have the spiritual community, but beyond the spiritual community, our neighborhood, our coworkers, like stuff like that. Like how is that fitting into our bigger picture? And there's another one here that I lost it.
Okay, it's going to come
I
back
lost
to you.
it. Yes.
We'll get it. Actually, don't tell us.
Okay.
We need to get the book.
There you
That's
go.
a great plug for the book.
There you go.
Do you have an idea of when you will be publishing that?
My goal is to have it ready for review in October so that around the time that I'm opening my business, that the book is published as well.
Well, then I'll definitely have you back here
Yeah.
on Hope Follows. Well, I love that. And your story is definitely all about hope because of the struggles you went through with your son and trying to help him. And I'm sure that was so scary.
It was very scary.
And as the
was
mama
very
bear,
scary.
you are, I can just picture you in the kitchen and trying to research all this stuff and just things everywhere.
Yeah.
As you are navigating this and trying to do what is best for your son, and then realizing we just need to do this for the whole family.
Yeah.
And isn't it easier that way?
Yes,
If
it
you all
definitely
just
is.
live the same way?
It definitely is. There's a couple of foods he doesn't eat that the rest of us eat.
Okay, sure.
But yes, it's definitely easier to do it all.
Because then everybody else is learning and being trained to eat healthy.
Oh, his disease has increased all of the fullness of all of our lives.
It's that it was a thorn, but the rose out of that is look at your lives now and the knowledge, and that will be passed on to generations.
So for years, he's had friends pray for him to be healed. And about 2 years ago, he said, I don't want to be healed. He's like, this is a gift that has been given to me. And it allows me to share with others. And it makes a difference in my life and the lives of others as well.
Well, we need to have him on here. We need him to tell his story.
Yeah.
I would love to have him. Wow, that is so mature. And he's 20.
He's 20.
20. I love that. Well, it is hard for people to make changes. It's hard.
It is.
And we come up with all kinds of reasons. What can you say to our friends watching? Maybe some different reasons they might have, and how can you help them work through that mindset?
Yeah. I think I feel like there are 2 types of people. There are the people that are active and go, 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 and don't take the time to stop. And then there are the people that stop and need to go, right? And so there's different answers for those different people. So for those of you who are going and going and going and not stopping, taking the time in the morning or at night to just really think about what you value and choose just one thing that maybe you wouldn't have chosen today for yourself is going to take you on that next step. And for those of you who are sitting and saying, I need to go, choose one thing each day that you're just going to go do, not because you feel like it, not because you want to, but because you know it's good for you. And both of you are going to find that next step in your health journey.
That is really beautiful. That is good. Your book is going to be amazing. I cannot wait. You might have to write a few books, actually.
Yeah, you gave me a couple more ideas.
Oh, good. Okay, I'm so glad. And so then let's go ahead and we're going to wrap up. I'm going to pray, and then whatever else you have to share would be wonderful, whatever's on your heart. Thank you so much, God, for this time that Renee could be here at Hope Follows and we could talk about health and wellness and the honor that you gave us, God, to do that, and the privilege and the duty and responsibility. May we all just take it one step, do something every day towards living a healthier lifestyle with that balance. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Amen. Well, let's do our big idea. Hope follows. Friends, as you know, we have the big idea jar, and these are ways to spread some kindness and joy, encouragement.
Should I read it?
Yes, please.
Help someone put groceries in their car.
Ooh, we're talking about food.
Yeah, we are.
And groceries. Okay. So you could you strike up a conversation too? What do you think?
I think that you could. I am wondering
say?
what you would say so that somebody would be comfortable with you
Right.
helping put groceries in their car.
Oh, that's a good question. Hi, can I help you?
Oh, there you go.
Maybe it's, what if it's a mom with a lot of kids?
Yeah.
What would you say?
Hey, I see that you've got kids to get in the car. Could I put your groceries in the trunk for you while you put the kids in the car?
That's great. I love that. And then what's another situation?
I'm thinking of somebody who seems frail.
Oh, for sure. Yes. Hi there. How are you today? I would love to help you. Can I help you? Always ask. I would want to ask and not just do it. Can I help you? Oh, I love your shirt. I'll probably give them a compliment.
That's good.
Yes.
That's good.
I love that. So friends, let's do that.
Yeah.
Let's go to a grocery store and see if we can help somebody.
I love that.
I was actually just watching a video with Dave Ramsey, and he's a financial expert and wonderful godly man. You know who Dave Ramsey is.
I do.
And he said on Thanksgiving, now this is what he does. He'll take 3 $100 bills and go to a Waffle House and just leave it there on the counter
Nice.
for the waitress. And what can we do? Now that's extreme, but
Oh, I have
helping.
one.
Oh, you do? Go
do.
ahead. Share it.
Actually, I did on my
We have
40th
20
birthday.
seconds.
Okay.
Good. We got this.
Put some dollars in the toy section at the dollar store for some kids, and then buy 3 smiley face balloons and go bless 3 people with a smiley.
Oh, I love that. Do you do that?
I do.
How often?
Not nearly as often as I should.
Well, let's do it.
Okay.
We're going to go do some more blessings to other people.
Yeah.
Thank you, Renee, for being here.
Absolutely.
Thank you.